Hello and welcome back on the show. I hope you have had an amazing January and you have a really great start to your year 2026. So, what I'm going to talk in today's episode is going to be several serious episodes, 3 or 4 series. And we're going to talk all about case acceptance slash conversions, however you call it in your specialty. In orthodontics, we often call it conversions. Other specialties call it case acceptance. What I mean by that is new patient schedules a consultation and they commit to treatment with you. Be it they paid a down payment or they signed a paperwork or they paid in full, or they scheduled their next appointment. However you do things in your practice, this is now your patient of record. Okay. And I have several programs. I have a program, Conversion Queen, that teaches you this, as well as the Mastermind and the Boutique Practice Accelerated Mastermind, which is my 12 months. This time it's actually 15 months program where I help women dentists of all specialties, especially I have a lot of orthodontists there, build a boutique practice, either from scratch or if you have a successful several $1 million practice, I will help you accelerate your growth towards the boutique practice. Boutique meaning you're seeing fewer patients, you're charging higher fees so you can work fewer days and have a smaller team. Okay. And what we have started in the mastermind in January is all with conversions or case acceptance. And so, and my training today, if you are listening to this episode live when it airs on February 4th. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern or 5:30 p.m. Pacific, I'm hosting a free training called Double Your Case Acceptance in the next 30 days, where I'm going to teach you my secret sauce, my proprietary framework, the 3 steps you want to do in your next consult in order to hear a yes. This is a winner and it's free. So if you're listening, catching this before we had this training, go ahead and quickly sign up. There's a link in the show notes below and I'll see you there. But if you've missed the training, that's okay. You can still email me. I can send you the replay if I still have that available. But I want to walk you in the next couple of episodes through most common objections / situations that happen in consult rooms. So one of my absolute biggest geniuses when it comes to coaching and business is my ability to close cases in dentistry. I am exceptional when it comes to sales. And I say this with a lot of audacity and pride because every single day I'm receiving multiple messages and audio messages and in my portal from my clients all over the world, all women doctors, a lot of them orthodontists, some are different specialties, and everybody's converting very high. Minimum 80%. A lot of people are converting at 100% month after month after month. And I am very proud of the process that I have developed that is completely laid out in the Conversion Queen, but also I'm going to give you like the backbone, the secret of it in this training. And so I've heard a lot from you guys, these objections, right? The case didn't start because she wanted to talk to her husband, or they needed to check their finances, or right now is not the good timing, or a second or third opinion. And so I just want to really help you as much as I can. And so in the podcast, I'm going to teach you each episode different scenarios of what you might be hearing in your consult and how you can overcome this objection. By the way, objections is, I'm going to say it a second time in this podcast, is the secret sauce of closing cases. Okay. The reason why your patients are walking out is not because how much you're charging. Okay. I'm going to pull my hair if somebody else is going to tell me I'm too expensive. You, my friend, thinking that you're too expensive is the number one problem. This is literally what I talk about in my very first training. Instead of the Conversion Queen, I said the training is called What is Killing Your Case Acceptance? And that is what you're thinking. Because if you're walking in that exam room and you think, oh man, I charge too much, what do you think is going to translate to your patient? Call it energy, call it woo-woo, call it whatever you want. It's actually bias. If you are biased, you know how biases work, right? That's why we do randomized, double-blinded clinical studies to test for an efficacy of a medicine, for example, right? Or a vaccine. It has to be double-blinded because if there is a bias, then the results are going to be skewed, yeah? And so if you're walking into the consult room and you keep subconsciously thinking, well, I'm expensive, or she may not start, or they're price shopping, the way you will show up in that consult room pretty much guarantees that this patient will walk away. Only confirming your bias. Are you hearing me? And then you will tell yourself, your TC or your salesperson or your friends or your husband that, well, I knew it. She wasn't going to start. She wasn't going to sign up. You've created, my friend, this situation. I say this with the most love because, listen, if you have created the problem, then you are the solution. And that's great news. Okay. So on this episode, here's the topic that I want to dive in. Second opinions. A lot of you think that if you are a second opinion, that somehow it's a disadvantage. Oh man, she already had an appointment somewhere. We're a second opinion. We're a third opinion. Oh, they're price shoppers. We are their fourth opinion. And when you hear this, you immediately are like on guard and kind of like your energy is down because you're thinking, man, this patient is not going to start, or they're going to be a pain in the butt, or, all kinds of negative thoughts. And that's why you're losing these cases. Stay with me. Not because you're their third opinion, but because you think that they will not commit to treatment with you. And here's the shift. When you're someone's second opinion, it is an advantage and not a disadvantage. Here's how. They already know what they don't want. That's why they didn't commit to treatment with the other doctor. That is gold. Such good news. Because all you need to do is not to present this shiny, stellar treatment plan or lower your fees or create some insane situation for them. All you have to do is figure out what went wrong with another doctor. That's it. They didn't commit with another provider because something was off. Figure it out. What was it? That is when it gets tricky, right? Because you feel uncomfortable asking questions like this. You have a lot of thoughts about asking how their experience was with another provider, and then a lot of thoughts about the other provider and just this whole mess, and you don't really know how to talk to humans, right? I didn't. I was trained in orthodontics. I think I was pretty social and like normal human being, but how do I actually talk in a sales conversation with a patient? I had no idea how to do that. And my TC wasn't always doing a good job. As a matter of fact, I don't know a single TC, you tell me, a single front desk or office manager who converts at 90 to 100%. Do you guys know anyone? I don't. But doctors do, because it's different. You have a lot more leverage than your salespeople. And I learned this the hard way. I learned this through actually my coaching business. Because in my coaching business, I don't have a salesperson. I am the sales system. If you're one of my clients, we get on the consult and I listen to your situation and I tell you how I'm going to help you. And then I tell you the fees. I tell you how it works. I don't tell you that, hold on, I'll see you in a second. Jessica's going to come in and she's going to break it down to you. I'm the Jessica. Right? And so I had to learn the sales psychology of people, the sales terminology, the sales triad, all the scripts, all of that, and do it not in this weird, pushy, like salesy, this used car sales kind of energy. I call it bro marketing. That's just not my vibe. Like when somebody's trying to push something on me, I'm sure it feels yucky to you too. It felt uncomfortable and just nasty for me as well. And so I decided that I will never have sales conversations this way. And even if even the word sales conversation rubs you the wrong way, let's start there. Because my friend, every time you're walking into a consultation, that's a sales conversation, yeah? You're charging money for your dental work? That's a sales conversation. Well, but they need it. Well, hopefully you don't ever recommend treatment when they need it. Then why not treat patients for free, right? So of course we're a for-profit organization. Of course it's a sale. So let's just normalize it. Selling something, selling dentistry is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Because have you ever done, I'm a little bit digressing, but let's just go there because this is a problem for a lot of people too. A lot of you, or maybe some of you, have done pro bono cases. Let's do show of hands. Have you ever done free dentistry? Okay. How many of those patients were amazing patients? Meaning they showed up to their appointments, they followed your instructions, they took care of their teeth, they were like great to work with. A lot? I'll wait. Exactly. My point is when people pay, they pay attention. Meaning you need to have skin in the game for patients to do their part. Our dentistry will fail. I don't care the type of dentistry you do. You're an orthodontist, you're a para, you're a pros, you're omifast. It will fail if your patient doesn't at least partially cooperate. So we need cooperation from humans, but they will only cooperate when they have time, money, and energy behind that treatment. So you charging them is in service to them. So it's okay to have sales conversations. It's necessary for you to deliver that exceptional outcome for the patient. Because if you gave it for free, they wouldn't want it. They wouldn't do a good job. Okay? So let's circle back. You're their second opinion. You're having a sales conversation. You need to figure out why they are there. Ask them questions. Uncover what went wrong. What didn't work? It's not always that the other doctor was a monster and you're somehow throwing under the bus a colleague. That's what your brain is telling you, this worst case scenario. It's not necessarily that. It could be that the distance was unacceptable for them. It could be that the down payment was too high. It could be that appointments were scheduled in an inconvenient way. It could be that the location where they had a consult was one, but the location where the dental work is actually delivered is another one and it doesn't work for them. It could be a myriad of things. It could be that the doctor was rushed and they felt like they didn't listen to them. It could be that they really wanted Invisalign, but doctor for some reason pushed for braces. It doesn't necessarily mean that something went wrong with that other provider. So next time we are someone's second, third, or fourth opinion, celebrate. That is an easy close. All I have to figure out is why they didn't start. And I do it in a way that serves this patient. This patient is there because they want to say yes to me and I want to help them. If I believe that they truly will benefit from treatment and I will recommend treatment, then I just need to figure out what didn't work for them so that if we can, we will make it work for them in our practice. And maybe we'll figure out that we're just not a good fit, and that's a beautiful thing. You shouldn't get a yes from every single person. All right, my friends, that's my advice on second opinions. And if you want to know exactly the wording, the actual questions that I teach, or nuance depending on your patient population, I literally handhold my clients. Like when I say handhold, I really mean this because I had multiple people just this week tell me, man, I feel like I'm the most annoying client. I ask you so many questions. I'm like, no. This is what I mean by handholding. You text me throughout the day and I walk you through this until it clicks. You don't just see me or somebody from my team once a month. I'm very, very invested to make sure that we change how women dentists run their practices, because we need to stop this epidemic of burnout. And this is my mission and my goal, my movement that I'm creating with the 8-figure practice. All right, my friends, I hope this was helpful. As usual, underneath this podcast, you will see a worksheet that will take you step by step for the process that we just talked about. So you don't have to take notes. Otherwise, I hope to see you tonight, if you're listening live, at my free training, W Case Acceptance, in the next 30 days. I'll see you there. Bye.